Hello and welcome to Kohler Commentary. Today I am accompanied by Angel Warrenfells, who I have a connection with through our church here in Carrollton, Texas. And Angel just has such a unique story because she is from North Korea. Right. And I think that in itself has so many layers of the history that she comes from, the experiences that she has lived that many of us could not relate to. And then also what that transition looked like here. She is married and we did connect just through having boys together. And even today, her son Bennett is not asleep on the one day that we have to record because that's mom life, you know? And I think while we have these connections, her history and her story goes so much deeper. And I'm so excited to get to know her today. Purposely, we have not really shared much on this story offline because I wanted to have such like organic reactions even to listening to your story right now. So it is my first time as well. And so I'm not going to hold the intro any further. I'm going to introduce Angel onto the podcast. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. And hi, my name is Angel Warrenfells, and my Korean name is Keumhyang Cho. I'm really thankful to have opportunity to share my testimony. Yeah, so thank you for giving me this opportunity, Joy.
Of course. I think, like through the grapevine, you came to this church through Janice, someone else who has been on this podcast as well. But, she'll casually slip in that you have this crazy testimony, right? And so I don't even know where to begin. I guess to be transparent, I've never had a guest share and I can't, imagine what your experiences were like. So if you are able to kind of start your story.
Okay.
And then I can guide us in that way.
Okay, yeah,
Does that work?
Sounds good. Yeah. I was born in Busan, North Korea. Busan is at the very north end of North Korea, and there is a steel mine, the biggest steel mine in North Korea.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So my father works there, and really short time for a year before I escaped. I also worked there too.
Oh.
As just something like a illegal. Just to let you know, in North Korea, if you just live in the law, like the right way, you cannot survive. It's all like illegal. So it's not really shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and my parents and my younger sister and I were happy there when I was young. My family was not rich, but my parents worked very hard to make sure we were well fed and happy. So growing up, I didn't understand why some children were starving and why their parents could not take care of them. Of course, because we have money, so my mom always buys some nice gift to teachers. So the teachers treat me so differently. So I just felt like I'm really special. So I looked down my classmates who couldn't come to school because of starvation. So the teachers and the students at my school were envious of my family. Yes, but in 1998, I was 9 years old. My mother went to China to find work and never returned home.
Oh.
Yeah, without my mother, we soon ran out of food, and my father's work did not pay him. I never knew what hunger meant until then. My younger sister was 4 years old at that time, and my father could no longer work because of his illness. So I became the only provider for my family, and I was only 9 years old. 9 or 10, yeah. After barely finishing elementary school, I earned a living by collecting and selling firewood and vegetables. I did everything I could possibly do. North Korea, if you don't go to school, you have to caught by the police and you have to go to jail because it's required. So in North Korea, if you don't go to school, they just look some different. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, they look at me like, oh, she is a bad person, something like that. Because
even though you had to provide.
Right,
and you had to work.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, also because I didn't have my mom, it's plus. Yeah, so, because my mother was a defector, we were called daughters of a trader. So neighbors avoid us. and we were not allowed to play with other kids in our neighborhood. Even the teachers, they say, like, don't play with Jo Keumhyang. Like, yeah, she's really bad. Like, I don't know what I did bad, except I couldn't go to school. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I blamed my mother for all the hardships and decided never to see her again. But during the 5th or 6th years after my mother left, the government forced my family move to a different city as a punishment for my mother's betrayal. At that time, my mother lived in China for 4 years.
Okay.
And then she went to South Korea and became the pastor. And she also did some radio and some interview.
Oh.
So they all know who is my mom.
Oh my gosh.
So
okay.
I suddenly became so popular.
Right.
So no matter where I go, even though I don't know them, they know me.
Yeah.
They always say, oh, Jo Keumhyang, her mother, yeah, she's in South Korea. She betrayed our country. Oh, she did a blah, 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 something like that. So I just became so popular. Yeah, it's not really good way. Yeah.
Right. And then you guys were forced to move to a new place.
It's like deep in the mountain. Yeah, only few families live there. Of course, there is not house prepared, so they give us some garage, but it's like there is a hole in it. Yeah, we couldn't cook, and it's January. It's really, really cold.
Oh my goodness.
We are so close to Baekdusan, so in the winter time it's really cold. I just still remember, I only ate this potato for 6 months because we didn't have food. Also, there were few families live, but they're all like the same situation like us.
Oh.
Yeah. But 6 months later, our first move, the government allowed to us move back to our hometown.
Okay.
Because my father convinced the governor, we didn't connect with my mom. Yeah, we really love our country. We obey to what Kim Jong-il, something like that. So he said, like, okay, you guys can move, right? I was so happy, but when we got there, however, a different family was living in our house. So we suddenly became the homeless.
Oh, no.
But we cannot ask to give our house back because my mother betrayed our country.
So why did they say yes? They knew what they were...
They don't care. Okay, so which means they just allowed to move back to our hometown.
Like
but
not
it's not
be exiled.
mean.
Yeah.
It's not mean they help us to settle down. We have to figure out, right? I became the homeless. So my sister stayed with her friends who doesn't have a parents. And I slept like outside, in the cornfield, no matter. Like some between the rocks or sometimes a train station, sometimes my friend's house, also my dad too. So we all separate. Yeah, so.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe we're friends today. Like, that's crazy. Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so when I turned 18, my anger towards the North Korean government grew. I began to wonder why my mother was forced to leave her country. I also realized that there is no way a young girl like me can continue to support her family alone. I could barely feed myself. I could not replace my shoes that had holes in them. I wanted to meet my mom to ask her for help. So one night I decided I could no longer wait and attempted to escape by crossing the Duman River border that separates North Korea and China. Even before I began to crossing the water, I got caught by the North Korean border patrol and was thrown into prison. Yeah. The soldiers beat me and said, this is Eunjoeyy's daughter who betrayed our country and became a Christian teacher in South Korea. I could not understand what they were saying. I had never heard of such words as a Christian, church, pastor, and worship. I finally learned what those words mean after I arrived in South Korea. my mother became the pastor.
Right. Because you had said that earlier. I was like, oh my gosh, what?
Yeah.
Wow. With North Korea, that's like a huge betrayal.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So we had never heard about any words like Bible. What is Bible?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So in 2008, actually, it was 2007. I came to South Korea 2008, but in 2007, 1 year later, after I got out of jail,
Okay.
my sister and I successfully escaped North Korea with my mother's help. We live so close by China, so we were able to use a cell phone to call out of North Korea. I reached out to my mom first. She sent a broker to North Korea to bring us to South Korea. And he helped us crossing the Tumal River. So the broker paid the soldiers, the border patrol, they paid them some money. So they helped us to cross the Tumal River. And then the broker guided us to cross the mountains for, I feel like it was 2 hours by walking. And we walk, if we heard the car sound, and we hide it. Normally the cars is for like China soldiers' cars. So, and then we walk for 2 hours, and the taxi was waiting for me.
Wow.
We took the taxi and go to like the city of China, and we stayed there. Yeah, so we stayed in China for 3 months for preparing to South Korea.
Okay.
The broker made a fake South Korean passport for me and my sister. With the passport, we were able to go to Laos and Thailand, and we took an airplane in Thailand. Actually, normal North Korean defectors, it's not easy way to do that because to make a fake South Korean passport is so much money. So normally they just walk by cross the border to Laos and Thailand, and they stay in Thailand prison for like a few years, a few months. It depends on like where they want to go, and they have to put the government to prepared, and then they can flew to like America, England, Japan, South Korea. But we are so lucky because my mom prepared the money, so we just. My mom stayed in prison for 6 months, but she knows how's the life there, so she didn't want to. We had the same experience, so she spent so much money. Yeah, we were so lucky.
Can I ask what some of that experience looked like inside the prison? Or
inside the prison, I heard my mom just say like, it's a really, really small place, but even the place you have to buy, and they always fighting each other, and then the food, they have a really hard time. Summertime, of course, it's so hot. They just had the bugs, and I heard something like a little bit story, but I thought it's really bad condition, and they were fighting all the time.
When you did reach out to your mom, was there still anger at that point?
Yeah.
You were just trying to leave.
Yes, because I just want to leave because there's no way. I try so hard to make money and having better situation, but there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
And no matter how much I work, it's all illegal.
Yeah.
So I always beat by somebody, or I just hate the people at that time. I feel like why I have to live like that. So when I connect my mom first time, it's not mean like I miss my mom and I want to meet my mom and something like that. It's still so funny, but when I decided to go to see my mom, I thought I'm going to steal her money and come back to North Korea.
I would understand that to be your thought, yeah.
But because in North Korea, we have a kind of bank, but we don't really use bank. They shut down.
Okay.
Because North Koreans, they hide money in house. Some like roof, wall, something underground, right? Yeah. So I thought South Korea is like that too. I had never get out of North Korea.
So you were gonna go into her roof and steal her money. I see. Yeah.
And then I about to come back. Yeah.
So, and then how about if at this point, like with your dad, was he aware that you and your sister were going to escape? you two, or what was that communication like?
Oh, yeah. My dad help us
Connect.
because help us to connect with my mom because we are growing, but also he realized that we are getting in danger all the time, and they always check on us. We are there.
Okay.
You know, for example, my dad had some surgery.
Okay.
And I take care of my dad in the hospital. The police officers called a hospital to make sure we were there, something like that. So there is no hope, like nothing is gonna be better. So my dad said, like, okay, you guys getting old, and I want you guys just have a better life.
Yeah.
So he's trying to help us.
Wow.
Yeah, total 3 months.
Okay.
We stayed in China for maybe 2 months, and then we took some South Korean passport. We were able to take the airplane in Thailand, which is that fake passport. But we cannot pass the Incheon airport because they know it's a fake passport. But anyway, we didn't need a passport at that time.
So you make it to South Korea now.
Yes. Yeah, it was my first time to took the airplane. I only watch it in the TV.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I know. Yeah, it was so cool. I thought I'm going to fly, but my ear hurts so bad. I had a really bad experience. I was starving and
Oh my goodness.
I was so scared. Where am I going?
Yeah.
Is this the right place?
Yeah. At this point, also, if you are listening, if you do have questions kind of like pop up as Angel does share, you said you would be willing to maybe come back on to answer like specific questions. And so like creating space for today to just be your story, and then the privilege we would get to have to hear like more if there was interest. And so I really appreciate even like a preview into what you've been through.
Yeah, so the airport in Incheon, South Korea was very impressive.
Yeah. And you just went this last year.
Oh, yeah.
But like years ago, I know.
Every time I go to Korea, Incheon airport is so special to me. So South Koreans looks much healthier and happier than North Koreans.
And this was 2009?
2008. Nobody looks hungry, miserable, or scared. And especially South Korean guys look so handsome. They are so tall and white.
Oh,
the skin,
that's right.
They are so pale.
That's right.
Wow, why they all looks like a movie star? I want to marry a South Korean, like something like that. But yeah, I still cannot forget. And then, when I was in China, when we stay in China, I watched a South Korean TV show all the time. So every time when I saw some TV show, they say like, if the guests come over to your house, they ask like, oh, do you want some tea or coffee, right? I had never had a coffee or tea, so I thought it's really good. So when we were waiting for the North Korean governors to come to pick us up, we were waiting at airport, and they say like, they ask me, oh, you want some coffee or tea? So I say, oh, I want some tea, right? And then they give me some hot tea. Oh, no. It's just like, what is this? I just spit out. I was so shocked. So for me, something good is sweet and something like but it's like a bitterness.
Right.
I was so shocked. Yeah.
That is so that's so funny. Like you're watching something, wondering, like just like the airplane, you're wondering what that experience,
so
and then so
I want some tea, and
oh my gosh,
I was so starving, but they didn't give me food. I was just waiting and waiting, like I think it was on Sunday, so we were waiting for a long time because they didn't work.
Right.
But I wasn't really scared. Actually, it's really dangerous. Even though we buy the broker, it's really, really dangerous.
Right.
Because if they just want more money, you know.
Oh, then
and
you can automatically
Oh,
get
yeah. And they can just sell us or they can do whatever they want, you know. But I just feel like I don't have no choice. Either die in North Korea or on the way here. Just hopefully I don't caught by the police. Just sent back to the North Korea. That's the worst case because I already had experience
when you're
how
crossing
was
the river.
North Korean prison, right? But China was like a new whole world to me. But South Korea was even more impressive. The first 6 months of my life in South Korea was really like heaven. It was totally different from North Korea, definitely. I did not starve anymore, wore beautiful clothes, and did not have to work to bring food home anymore because my mother was with me. However, the happiness of my life did not last very long. I did not know about South Korea and capitalism well. So I could not do anything without someone's help, like open the bank account, the bank statement, or something like that. Yes, so people around me called me stupid or silly. They look at me so like, oh, why she's so dumb? Because normally, even North Korean defectors, they stay in China like at least few years.
Right.
So they have experience, like what is capitalism, kind of capitalism. Like they were able to use a computer, internet, or something like that. But I had no idea. I was so fresh. So it was like a really culture shock. After my mother left, she immigrated to America in 2008. After we got there 6 months later with my sister.
Oh. Okay. So one, I'm hearing most people had their transition experience in China. So in a sense, very lucky for you that you didn't have to do that.
Right.
But then that like culture shock happened in South Korea rather than China. So that was difficult for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Before, how was the reunion with your mom?
Oh, I thought, in the TV show, if you saw your mother, they were crying, Mom, I miss you, something like that. But when I saw my mom, I just feel like, who is she?
Yeah.
I didn't have any emotion. So I met her at the center first time, and I just say, hi, Mom. I recognized her first. She didn't recognize me. She said, Angel Keumhyang? So I said, yes. Oh, okay. And we just processing all the like paperwork. And then we took in the car and she held my hand. It's so weird. Why she held my hand? Yeah, when we got home, my mother asked me like, can I give you a hug? And she said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I think I only said one sentence. It was so hard for me to survive in North Korea. Yeah. But after that time, I didn't really just be comfortable with my mom. Because we didn't have any relationship for 10 years. So it really takes time to be comfortable.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that moment.
Yeah, so the South Korean life, it was so hard for me. So when they insulted me, each time it made me sad and more miserable than starving in North Korea. I even tried to commit suicide several times, but each time I failed. I think God always protected me each time. In 2008, I think it's 6 months after we arrived in South Korea, my mother and my sister immigrated to America. I followed them a year later. Yeah, I applied a international visa, but they rejected me. So I couldn't come with them. So I just wait for a year and applied, and I got a visa. So I was able to come to America. But I felt truly blessed living in a country where many can only dream of. When I left South Korea, I thought I would be really happy in United States and forgot the problem in South Korea. However, I experienced the same problem and cried every night in America. I had the same problem with maintaining relationships with people here just as I did in Korea. Even though my body is here, but I couldn't speak English at all. Also, I still go to Korean church, so my problem didn't go away.
Yeah.
At that time, my family also was having a problem with communicating with each other. So my sister and I just thought, oh, you left us.
To your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't love us. You left us. You are so selfish. How you couldn't do that? We got hurt. But my mom said, I tried to bring you guys for 10 years, but you guys didn't come. How?
So she's also hurt.
Yes. So she also got hurt. So we were just argued each other every day. So I blamed on my family, people, and world. I asked myself why I was born, why I'm living now. Why do I always have a hard time than others? I really want to be happy, but I feel like I don't have anything, money, talent, or beauty. So I feel like it's not fair for me. Yeah, so it was a really, really difficult time. So if some people ask me, oh, do you want to go back to your 20 or your teenagers? I just say no. No, it was a great time. I learned so much, but I don't want to go back. Yeah. I always want to be 30. I feel like if I'm 30, there is something better. Yeah. So I really didn't want to go back.
For timeline's sake of age, too, 9 was when your mom had left. 18-ish?
18, 19.
Is
19,
when you went through all that process.
Yeah.
So then 20s is America.
Yeah, right.
2021.
Right. Yeah, 20.
Through.
Yeah, 20.
Oh my gosh, okay. And so in America, as you're adjusting, did those arguments ever go away amongst your family? Or do you feel like that hurt is still there from all of you guys, in the different ways?
Oh, it's just still there. It's just still there. And when I was pregnant, I thought to myself, even though later I realized how my mom left, I just couldn't imagine when I was pregnant how she could leave. Yeah. I just was so angry to my mom. But I forgive her, but which not mean I'm comfortable with her, like some other mom and daughter's relationship. I'm not really comfortable asking her for help, or I never talk about any problems between my mom, me and my husband. I cannot just say, oh, mom, because of my husband, oh, he did this, something like that. Yeah, so, it's not comfortable, but no more arguing, of course. Yeah, but my sister, she still, just got hurt, and she didn't get really healed. So I think I just argue with my sister more, because we had the same experience, right? So I always say, you are not the only one. Don't complain about your life. Don't excuse what you are doing, because you are North Korean defector. Because you left North Korea when you were 14, 15. Now you are 30. It's not going to be excused anymore. It's your responsibility. It's your life. Yeah, so something like that. I cannot be really, oh, I'm sorry. Just treat my sister more love, like
Yeah.
in love.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah.
No, I mean, I can't imagine what kind of repairing that would, have to look like. And so I think even hearing where you guys are today, it's like impressive that you guys are able to have communication and, like be able to interact. And also like, yeah, I just like very like, yeah, respect and admire like what you've went through, Angel, and then just like even right now to share that and share it so clearly. Like I understand everything, and I'm like the way you're storytelling too. Like I don't have follow up because I feel like you are sharing it very clearly for me to understand, And so I think yeah, I just like I'm like kind of in shock right now. I would not, I would not have ever thought any of this. And yeah, I don't know if there is more you would want to share on the specific part of just like one escaping and one transitioning here before we go to more other topics within that, but
Oh, yeah,
and your dad, when did your dad come?
my dad?
I thought you said, does your dad come with you guys later? Or
No.
Okay.
No. He didn't want to come because he just told me, I'm old man. I cannot survive in South Korea because I'm old man. It's really hard for me. At that time, I didn't understand what he meant. But now I realize that why he said it. Yeah. Also, he said like, if I left North Korea and then my sister, my brother, they will all got yeah.
You have to think in that. Wow, like
some punishment,
right? So even if you escape, your family is gonna get punished, and so that keeps you there. But yeah, even like you were sharing that, through all the pain, like, and a lot of physical experiences you went through in North Korea, like South Korea and America, those transitions were so much worse for you, and that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So hearing that puts it into perspective.
Yeah, some people say like, oh, you are so lucky. You can escape North Korea. You live here. You are driving a car. You married and you have a son, Okay. I'm so thankful. And I'm so thankful. I think I'm really lucky to escape North Korea. I cannot imagine how I live in North Korea. But it was not easy journey. I just want to say I had a harder time to live in South Korea and America than North Korea. I'd rather starving than I just deal with like who am I.
Identity is especially at an age where I don't know that you've kind of already set your identity or like understood who you are, and then you have to reshape all of that, and then like constantly that's why there's so much mental health struggle too. It's like even here, and so like I can't imagine what must have been going through your heart, your mind, and that affects your body as well, and just all these things. And so yeah, I think when people do say those things, what goes on in your mind, like, because you can, but sometimes you're like, no, I'm not, like that's also like with someone who doesn't have context, like, whoa, what are you saying, so like what kind of, like what's happening mentally as someone does that, you're so lucky, or like you should be grateful, how do you respond, or how does that affect you and your own heart?
Because normally I just say like, oh yeah, I'm so lucky, right? I just let it go, because I feel like even though I explain to them, they wouldn't understand. Like they ask me, some people come to me and ask me, is this true? There's no food. Why don't you guys eat ramen? You know how much is the ramen is?
How much?
I had to try ramen at only one time in North Korea. Even though the ramen soup, I think one bite. So ramen is if we say $1, if you, with $1 we can buy two 2 pounds of corns, right? So will you eat the 2 pounds of corns and be full with family, or you will just eat ramen by yourself? It's something like that, you know.
Yeah.
So
wow.
they just don't have any idea.
Yeah.
So it was really hurtful for me when I come here first time. How they just talk like that? But later I just realized that because they don't know about North Korea. Maybe some people, even though they ask me, hey, oh, you are North Korean defector, like, oh, blah, 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 why do you think this one? But they are not really thinking about like how North Koreans live, how is North Korea. They just curious, like briefly in their brain. They just ask questions. So I just said like, oh yeah, I'm lucky, but oh yeah.
Do you feel like in that example, there is a desire to, like, I wish they knew, or is it more like that's never gonna, like, you know, like, do you feel like, not they even, do you feel like your suffering is minimized at all through coming to like South Korea and America? Like, do you feel like there is like no one understands what you've truly been through kind of thing, or
No one understands.
how does that look like even in conversations in marriage, or like how do you think that would look like even in the future if you were to just share within the family like your experiences? I don't even know what my question is. Angel, you have me stuck. Normally I have really good flow. Yeah, no one will understand.
Yeah, no one will understand.
Are you okay with that?
I'm okay. You know, I want people have heart to pray for North Korea, for also North Korean defectors, especially North Korean defectors who live in America. They really need the help because especially Texas, why they don't have many North Korean defectors, they cannot survive here. They cannot have a job. If they need a job, they have to drive, right? But how they can get a driver license? Something like that. It's a really simple thing.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like I work at the Korean restaurant because I couldn't speak English. Also, because I was an international student, so I work at the Korean restaurant, right? I worked there for 3 months. Every night on the way back home, I cried. You know why? Because even the Korean restaurant, I know Korean, but as a server, customer order food, and they say like, oh, what do you want to drink? And they say like, oh, can I have some Coke? What do you mean Coke? What is a Coke? They say, can I have some Sprite? What is Sprite? What is this? Dr. Pepper, Sprite. Even the simple things. Maybe I'm the only one. Yeah, but I didn't have any Coke or Sprite. Even Coke, I only learned like a Coca-Cola. It's not like a Coke, right? Something like that. So as a North Korean defectors, they really need someone's help.
Yeah.
Someone really just to take care of them as a baby and to make sure they have a driver license, to get a job. They just practice. But it's really, really hard.
Are you connected with North Korean defectors in like the States, or?
I'm not really, because I just realized that in South Korea, there are so many North Korean defectors, right? And my mom always told me, don't play with North Korean defectors. If you just play with North Korean defectors, you will be just North Korean defector. Which means, like, you live in America, you live in South Korea, you should just work with South Koreans, have experience, so you will get out of from your comfort zone, so you can be South Koreans. If I was in South Korea, if I still live in South Korea, I feel like I will just still only hang out with North Korean defectors. But I feel like when I came here, because I really hate the South Koreans at that time, right? That's why I came here.
Okay.
I didn't have American dream. I only come to America because my mom asked me to come. That's why I come. And I thought, because America, they use English. So maybe I'm going to be okay. But I had the same problem, right? So every night I want to go back to North Korea. But I can't. So then I want to go back to South Korea, but I didn't have a good experience in South Korea, right? So there's no way I can go. Also here, there's no one. There's no any North Korean defector in Dallas. So I have to survive.
Yeah.
So you know what I did? Every day. Because every time when I go to school, I say something, I do something. South Koreans look at me so weird. I just thought, like, why they look at me weird? First, I thought, like, they are so weird. Why they don't understand me? Because I was not weird in North Korea.
Yeah.
I was normal. But here I'm weird, right? But I just realized, okay, they are not going to understand me. So which means I have to change. So every day I go to school, church, and I talked with you. And when I come back home, I remember every single word what I said. And when I talk to you, and I use some different words, but your face was kind of not happy, I just try to use different words. And I just checked how South Korean talk, how South Korean, reaction. It's every night I did it.
That's draining mentally and always trying to be correct or switching it up.
Right. So I really want to be South Korean. Otherwise, there's nobody I can I can talk, I can hang out.
Yeah.
So how I practice. So from now, last year I had a chance to meet some North Korean defector. Except my few friends, North Korean defectors who live in South Korea, because we have known each other for since 2008, right? So I never feel like, they are some different or something like that. We always talked. But last year I had a chance to meet some North Korean defector, and I was so shocked because, he's so different. And I just feel like, he's just so rude. Excuse me.
Angel just gave me a rude look.
Right. And I just realized that South Koreans were felt the same way when I came here first time. So now I can understand them. So now I feel like I'm more comfortable with South Koreans than North Koreans. North Korean defectors. I feel like. Yeah, but still there is some gap between South Koreans, North Koreans, but I feel like more comfortable with South Koreans.
Yeah.
I was so surprised.
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting. Like, even when you were sharing earlier, like, when you were pregnant and then hurt feelings came back up with your mom, and even in this, like, years later, some sort of personal realization or epiphany will happen. Like for this, when you met the North Korean defectors recently, it's when you suddenly understood some perspective that South Koreans might have had back then or something. So just hearing how things will continue to come up when you maybe least expect it, whether it's for like a positive or a negative healing for you, it's very like, I'm interested to hear what else will, arise for you in the future, as you parent and you grow in this family.
Right.
And then also like, what are some things you have healed from? And one thing I wanted to ask. So earlier I was doing Korean. So in my podcast, I read through some quotes, but there's a book right here, the 생각 which is like just journal prompts. And so the one I was going to ask was this one right here, which was, and I ask it to my guests just for them to answer.
Okay.
But this one says, 3년 전으로 돌아간다면. So you should just
don't worry about
okay,
it.
listen to 3년 전으로 돌아간다면 바꾸고 싶은 선택. for 3년, it's probably like maybe like 10년, 10 or 15년 전, whenever you did come, you know, but I am curious, like, you know, you did share, like, you wanted to go back, like, every night. Like, what is that? Would you 바꿔 your 선택? Would you change? Oh, so this, if it's translated as, if 3 years prior, what would you change a decision for my listeners who don't know Korean? But would you change your decision today? What does that look like? And I guess that can kind of intro into the last decade of just life for you. But this was kind of that transition of that question. I know there's more layers involved with the family you have created. But yeah.
We, recently I regretted. I graduated DBU, right? The Dallas Baptist University. It was really, really hard time to studying. Yeah, English, passing the IEP, English program, and then studying undergraduate. It was a really hard time. But when I ask myself, I don't think I didn't study hard. I just focus on to survive, to make friends more than my studying. That's what I regretted. It was a really great opportunity. So if I want to change something, when I was in college, I want to study so hard, really, really hard. Because I only graduated elementary school, so I didn't know how I have to study. Also, I have to learn English, and studying in English was really hard for me. But now I regret it. Yeah, so I think I will study hard. That's the only one. But other than that, I just feel like it's all in God's plan. Because I thought I was so smart. Because in North Korea, think about it, 10 years old girls, just take care of her family. Yeah. And then, you know.
People here cannot do that.
So I just thought I'm really smart and I'm really genius. And then when I come to South Korea, and I was like oh my God, I'm so dumb. I don't know anything, right? And then when I studied in America, I was feel the same way, right? After I was saved by God, I just realized that I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart preparing. Like, I will leave North Korea that day. I will come to South Korea. I will come to America. I will go to study in DBU. And then I will marry or something like that. I'm not that smart. It was all in God's plan. So I don't have any complaint for my life.
But I think you are smart, but yes, continue.
Okay.
Truly.
Thank you. Yeah, but I only regret it. Like, I didn't study hard. It was a great opportunity, but at that time, the studying was not that important for me.
Right.
Just making friends and then having relationship here, it was more important to me. Yeah, so...
I would assume, you know, hearing what you were going through, like having that support is so important. And so hopefully you were able to find that in that time.
Right.
Well, I'm glad that even though every night was hard, right? Like, and you go to bed thinking like you wanted to be back in North Korea. I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad like we got to meet through church. But just to hear your story and just like a snippet of it, it's like, if anything, like I think one, you're smart. And then to layer that beyond, it's like you're inspiring, right? And like if people just have a smartness about them, right? But there's nothing that like their story can leave behind, right? Like that's great, but you have a story that can inspire so many people about resilience, just like strength to persist and stuff. And so just want to encourage you to know that you have like that, even the step above. And so thank you for sharing. And for this portion, if listeners do have additional questions, please let us know. But then the next part, we will kind of go into life in America.
Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned for part 2 coming next week on Kohler Commentary. Bye.